Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. And thanks for joining tonight. Really appreciate that. Thanks for some thumbs up already. Hey, Brian, good to see your name come up there on the comment section. Teresa, Seth, if you guys are already watching tonight, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. I am looking at the monitor that I had on Facebook last night, and it was the new Facebook look. Okay, so I'm trying to see, I may scoot over and get in the middle of the screen. I'm trying to see if the old Facebook look will come back. So I may have some names here. I see Brian, Dottie, Jace. Okay, I'm getting some names to show back up here. Michelle, I see your name come up there as well. So there we go. Maybe I'll be able to keep up with this a little bit better tonight. Who knows? Daryl, tag frames. Oh, you already have do you have the Woo Pig Suey on your truck already? Brian, that is cool. That is incredibly cool. Hi, Jaylee Bell. Granddaddy loves you. I am so glad to get to see your name come up there as well. Mike, good to see your name come up. And Mike, I don't know, man, I was hoping that it would show up on this screen or not. I do appreciate the message you sent a little bit earlier. I do want to show that one, or at least talk about it a little bit later on. So it's good to see you tonight, Mike. Hey, it's a Wednesday night. A lot of folks got to go to church tonight. I was one of those folks, so I enjoyed getting to hear the word already, and I am good to go. Now, let's talk about some things that are going to happen this week. So let's do what the BCP Live is really what we try to do anyway. Hi, Teresa. I am glad that you are here tonight. Jenna Page, I have 2 daughters watching now and a granddaughter. I know. That is so cool. All right. Anyway, and Jen, I did get Facebook news from you that I am going to address tonight as well. So let's talk about something really quickly, trying to get some news out, because I was looking, I post online when it says give some, a description of what you're about to put online as a show or whatever the case may be. And I always say live streaming news and commentary. Well, I give a lot of commentary, so I figured I better do some news every now and again. This Friday, okay, we talked about this last week. This Friday in Durant, in Bryan County, it's going to be First Friday. So that was not last Friday. And last Friday was July the 3rd. Lots of fireworks going on. They had all that going on around town. So this Friday is First Friday, and I believe, and someone may correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I am, but I believe it is also Christmas in July Friday. So there may be some Christmas theme going on with all of the First Friday events. And that's cool because there are a lot of local businesses that will stay open later, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, there it was. Okay. Usually my sneezes are of such magnitude that you don't even need me to be live on Facebook to hear them. You can generally just hear them from wherever you happen to be. And Mrs. Patriot will definitely back me up on that. But it is businesses staying open downtown. So support your local businesses. Friday is a good time to do that. Businesses are going to be open 6, 7, some of them even until 8 o'clock. So let's go out and support our local businesses on Friday. Thank you, Dottie. I appreciate that. Brent, glad to see your name come up there. Yes, Ronnie. Thank you all. I appreciate that. Wow. You guys are awesome. I feel so blessed. Oh, my goodness. And again, it's live television. It is live television. All right. So don't forget, though, First Friday is this Friday. That is 2 days from now. Okay. There is a blood drive going on. Abundant Life is having a blood drive on Sunday. And so that is something. Now, I did not get to give blood when I thought I was going to. I'd taken some medicine. I was just a little bit uncomfortable in giving blood then when I thought I was going to the end of July. So I'm going to try to, or the end of June, I'm going to try to on Sunday. So we'll find out. I know that I've already seen word. People have given me word that they got antibody tests back. And the one that I saw specifically from someone who watches the show said his came back negative. So there we go. All right. Also a blood drive, Durant Lions blood drive. The Abundant Life Texoma one is on Sunday the 12th. Durant Lions blood drive going on 10:30 till 3 p.m. That is at the Lions Club on West Texas Street. That is on Tuesday the 14th. 6 days from now, Tuesday the 14th, 10:30 to 3 p.m., Durant Lions blood drive is going on. I will let you know about this. Goodwill Industries is going to be helping to provide with free mammograms 1 week from today. This is at 1836 Texoma Parkway in Sherman. Free mammograms on Wednesday. That is next Wednesday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. So keep that in mind. And that's always a good thing to do is to get tested for that as well. All right. I think I have that all down. Hey, listen. You know what? I was speaking with a friend of mine this morning, getting to visit with Brent. I drop names every now and again. I appreciated that visit. You know, he's one of the sponsors for the Bryan County Patriot, for the website, which again continues to grow. And it's interesting because, hey, it's Wednesday and Brent is right here on the Wednesday list. So let me say thank you to a few of our advertisers really quickly. I want to say thank you to the folks at Bushwhackers, as well as Corner Drug, Pro Image. Daryl, I saw your name show up here a little bit earlier tonight. So thank you for being an advertisers on the show. Kathy, Jamie, thanks for watching tonight. I also want to say thanks to the folks at Heartbeat Realty, KFC, Shamrock Bank. Love to see Jason come up with the little shamrock emojis. That just makes my night. Taco Mayo. And I talked about Taco Mayo last night. Taco Casa, also one of the sponsors. Waffle Shop is one of the sponsors as well. And Gordon Funeral Home. So thank you all for being sponsors. We have so many great people, great sponsors, great advertisers, and we have a new one coming up, and we'll be talking about that very soon. So we just got a new advertiser for the website today, and I am so thankful. A friend of mine, someone I've known and broadcast sports with. Oh, how about that? So anyway, we'll talk about him over the course of this week. Carlene, thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by tonight. I appreciate seeing your name come up there. Janice is in the house tonight. Connor, thank you for stopping by as well. And I'm going to keep it, I think, on this Facebook view so that I can see who all's joining. Sean Blankenship. Happy birthday, Kylie Pearl. I have a niece with a birthday today, so I want to give a shout out to her. And Richard, thank you for joining as well. Okay, news from Norman. Let me read this one. A couple things came down the pike today, and I wanted to read this one to you. If you have not seen this yet, from Oklahoma City News, Norman passes ordinance requiring residents to wear masks in public. The Norman City Council passed an ordinance late Tuesday night that will require residents to wear facial coverings when in public. The mask mandate works in combination with the University of Oklahoma's required masking for students and lasts through November 30th. Now, I'm questioning this because I don't know if this means that the Oklahoma requirement lasts through, the OU requirement lasts through November 30th, or if the mandate lasts through November 30th. Anywhere around it, it probably will. The mandate itself last through November 30th. So Norman folks are required to wear masks in public, or we wear mask singular. Not sure about the plural of that. Anyway, the city of Norman will provide disposable masks to businesses for distribution to customers wanting to enter. A news release states the masks are anticipated to arrive in the week of July 13th, and city officials will announce distribution sites soon. The news release states facial coverings don't need to be a medical mask. Any cloth face mask, towel, scarf, or bandana will work as long as it fully covers the nose and mouth in accordance with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines. Mirroring CDC guidance, the city of Norman's ordinance allows for the following exceptions. People or situations identified by the CDC where the wearing of a cloth face mask may exacerbate a physical or mental health condition. Restaurants and bar patrons while they are eating or drinking. Well, that's nice. It's nice that you don't have to wear a mask while you're eating or drinking. People exercising in communal outdoor spaces or walking, or others from the same household, communal outdoor spaces provided social distancing is maintained. It is harder to read sometimes on the air than you would think it would be. Anyway, children under the age of 6 years old, that's promising. Settings where it is not practical or feasible to wear a mask or a face covering, such as when receiving dental or medical treatment and services. You know what gets me about this? And look, by the way, I'm not downplaying the mask. So if you're watching right now and you think I'm downplaying the mask requirement, I'm not downplaying the mask requirement here. What gets me about this is that they're having to tell people it's okay to not wear a mask when receiving dental treatment. Okay? Somebody's going to sue McDonald's for the hot coffee that they poured in their lap and say it was McDonald's fault for the hot coffee. Now, please keep it out of the comments. I know the coffee was too hot, blah, blah, blah. This is decades old. But again, do not iron clothes while wearing the clothes. Somebody did that. Somebody did that. So they're preparing themselves so that you can't get wound up at the city of Norman if you are asked, if you say, listen, can I take my mask off while I'm receiving dental treatment? Yes, Sean, I agree. And that's a quote from a movie, but you know what? There it is. Stupid is as stupid does. Didn't they? I don't know that, Mike. I really don't know if they voted last week to do that or not. That would be news to me. By the way, I do have a good statement from Mike here a little bit later on. Settings where it's not practical. Occupants inside a personal vehicle, personal office, or similarly private space while others outside the occupant's household are not present. I want to ask this because I've seen this many times. In Bryan County, have you seen people driving alone in their car with their mask on? Driving alone in their car with their mask on. Have you seen people doing this? I have. Now, my favorite one, and I passed this person. We were driving through. I won't say where we were. I have no idea. I've never seen this person before, but he did have the mask pulled down, still on his face. It was pulled down just long enough so that he could smoke. Now, that I don't have any problem not saying that. I'm just saying that was a little bit of a challenge. Had to work real hard on that. But yes, personal vehicle, as long as it's populated with family members. That's right. Anyway, here's one. Private homes. This actually says this, and this is passed along. Let's see. Jenna posted this today on her Facebook page. So the City Council of Norman is saying it's okay to not wear a mask while you're in your private home. Now, let me pause and say this again. This is not bashing the mask. This is not bashing the requirement. Think what you want to about the requirements. Okay? Some do it to deter themselves from, okay. You know what, Jennifer? I'll buy that. I will buy that. I suspect not all people do, but I'll buy that. Okay. Let me put this one up here so everyone can see this. Now, this is someone who's in the medical profession. Some people do it to deter them, or to deter. Well, that's true too. To detour themselves from touching their face until they're home to wash their hands. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, and again, I'll buy it. Especially if just coming from a public place. Wait until somebody has an auto accident because of a face mask and tries to sue the government. Now, that could happen as well. I think that's a possibility. They thought it to be easier to leave it on. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to agree with all those things. I'm going to buy all those things. I will say, I don't think everybody does that. I do think, and I do believe that some people do it while driving in their car to show that they still have a mask on. I'm just saying. I think it's out there. All right, private homes, private lodging rooms, and okay, this is going to take an education first approach. Anyway, the point is this. This is in Norman. It's in Texas. It could happen in Bryan County. So It's just something that we need to be aware of and we need to be prepared for. And I have my gator. I have my black gator. I think I would like to get my gator with like Midwest Sports Net on it. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool if I'm gonna have one. And pulling it over my head. See, that's the fun thing too. I've got the gator, and it's that little sleeve thing that you can pull over your head, which is really easy for me because it doesn't mess anything up. It doesn't get caught on anything, and when I take it back off, I haven't messed anything up. I know others of you probably would have challenges in that way. See, this has a nice little purpose too. I have found though, because I'll pull it down, and I had the gator on today at the ribbon cutting. I was asked to wear a mask, and I wore the mask today, and I wanted to honor everyone there. When I was done, I did pull it down, and oh yeah, we do have the Raisin Cane gators too, because I bought them for Mrs. Patriot and all the little Patriots, and we have our Raisin, because we're promoting Raisin Canes. There should be one in Bryan County. But I have noticed when I pull it down though, it does look like an extended turtleneck. And I'm telling you, I just don't feel like I look good in a turtleneck. I feel like I look like a roll-on with a turtleneck on. So I generally don't wear turtlenecks. And if you're too young to know what a roll-on is, you may just be too young. All right. All right. I'm gonna show this one. I'm gonna throw this up. Just got a phone call. People should know I'm busy listening to BCP Live. Come on. Don't do that to Brian. He's got to watch the show. All right. So that is news. Be prepared. This could be something that we see come our way. So we just need to be prepared. That's all. All right. I think, and sometimes, and I have been told I apologize too much. So I'm sorry for that. Some of y'all will get that later. That's all right. But I'm not out to offend. I'm really not. Most times, if you use the word irregardless, I'm probably out to offend. I may be. If you didn't see the show last night, then definitely watch the show. But okay, here we go. This one was given to me a little bit earlier today. Let me see if. No, I'll have to find it over here a little bit later. All right, I'll look for the quote a little bit later that I got. Yeah, I'll have to find it a little bit later. Talking about the rise in cases in Tulsa. So I'll have to find this a little bit later. I thought that was very, very funny. All right. Here's the news today. And I wanted to bring to you something from, I just wanted to share something with you today because I always want us to think, I always want you to think about what's going on. Don't do something just because you've always done it. Don't do something just because you heard somebody else. Don't say something just because you heard somebody else say it. Don't do something just because you've always done it that way. I just want to encourage you to think, and I always appreciated that. It was something I passed along to the kids when I taught school. I was grateful for the opportunity to share with teenagers this thought. You need to think. Use the magic bean. Think. And so I saw a story that came across my social media today, and I was on Twitter, and this came across. And I know, by the way, Twitter has turned into an almost absolute cesspool of just cancel culture and being mad at one another and everything like that. But for me, with the sports side, I try to keep up that way. And there was a story that came out today, early in the day, that the Ivy League, which is Division I, NCAA Division I, the Ivy League was canceling all of its sports fall intercollegiate competition for the fall semester. Okay? Now, this is a big deal. Because the Ivy League was the first conference, if you remember back in March, and you may not, but if you go back to March with me for a moment, we talked about the fact that we all missed out on March Madness this year. The Ivy League was the first conference to cancel its conference tournament. And then other conferences, the Big 12 and other conferences did cancel their conference tournaments. And eventually it came to the point where the whole NCAA tournament was canceled because of the beer bug. Now, I think sometimes the Ivy League is overhyped, but this is the decision that was made. Now, this is your schools like Harvard and Yale and Penn and Dartmouth and Cornell and Columbia, okay? These are those schools up there. They're supposed to be the smart schools. Again, not bashing or anything like that. I'm just saying it came out today. So I read this story, and I thought, this is probably something I needed to talk about sports-wise. I need to get on this, and I need to stay with this. By the way, I'm following in the comments section. Yes, Mrs. Patriot, the Chiefs Super Bowl shirt is finally on the way. Brian, you're going to get in trouble if you call it a trash bag. I'm telling you. So, story comes out. Ivy League is canceling its fall. So I'm looking for the story. First thing I did was get a second source. Well, I got a second source. Second source didn't tell me where it got its information. First source didn't tell me where it got its information. So I go to the Ivy League website. Nothing. Absolutely nothing about this on the Ivy League website. Now, you'd think a story this big, a Division I conference in the NCAA canceling its fall competition, you'd think that if the Ivy League is going to say this, that the Ivy League is going to have a news release. No news release. This is early afternoon. So I waited, and I saw a few more things. And I mean, some big-time Associated Press is telling this story. A couple other places telling this story. Ivy League is canceling this. What kind of effect will it have? Did not say in there where it got its information. Okay, so I waited. Finally, the Ivy League did post something. And it was a little bit different than some of the stories that came out first, but still, the general idea is that they are in fact going to, back away from fall intercollegiate competition for 2020. Now, here's my point in all this. It would have been easy to go ahead and go with this story. And I believe what probably happened was that the Ivy League leaked this information out. It got out to certain folks. They went with the story because they knew it was going to be a real story. Went ahead and felt comfortable enough to go with it, went with it. And eventually that's going to dull the brunt of the story just a little bit. If information gets leaked out a little bit, people start finding out about it, it dulls the brunt of, hey, this is a big deal. I just want to encourage you, don't go with everything you hear on these things. Don't go with everything. Find the source and get the source for that information. And I was going to tell you this because I remember growing up hearing things that people would swear were in the Bible. Okay? Have you ever heard anything? Let me know in the comment section. Have you ever heard anything that you thought, or that just because you'd heard it so many times in church or heard it around people who were church-going folks, that you just thought it was in the Bible, and it's not. One that I heard growing up, and when I was young, I'm talking back in the 70s. Okay, cleanliness is next to godliness. Now, I think because the word godliness is there, people thought that was a biblical quote, and it's not. You can't find that in the Bible. It doesn't say cleanliness is next to godliness. So I'm just, it's one of those things. All right. How about this one? God works in mysterious ways. Has anyone ever heard that one? God works God works in mysterious ways. Well, he really kind of does. I mean, we don't always, I think that God's not trying to surprise us with a lot of things. There are promises that are in the Bible that God made to us that he's not trying to surprise us. Now, how it comes about, I'm generally surprised so many times when I pray for something and I may see the answer and it came to me in a way that I never expected. I think that's cool. It was a mystery to me. But the fact that God answered prayer or did what he said he was going to do in his word was not a mystery. There's some surprises, but now, where do we get this? Because we find certain words or phrases and we take them as the real thing. In Romans chapter 11 and verse 33, now this isn't even in the King James, which is what I was watching or what I read when I was growing up. I define the Amplified, which is expanding into a lot of words just to get this word out of the scripture. And in Romans 11:33, it says, and how untraceable, in parentheses, mysterious and undiscoverable are his ways, his methods, his paths. It says that he has mysterious ways, but it doesn't say in there, well, God works in mysterious ways. That's not a biblical quote. Let's take another one. And let me see if I can bring this one up here. How about right here? See if this is up there. Is this the one? All right. 1 Timothy 6:10. Have you ever heard, well, money's the root of all evil? Anyone ever heard that? Well, money's the root of all evil. I want to submit to you that that's not the entirety of that sentence. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Doesn't say money's the root of all evil. Look, I have a bank account, and I would like for that bank account to have more in it than it does right now. I'm thankful it has anything in it at all. But if my bank account had money in it and money was the root of all evil, then I would be doing evil. How's God going to bless me if I have money in my bank account if money's the root of all evil? Money's not. It's the love of money. But people will take parts of things and just run with it. Okay, one more. I hope this one doesn't make anybody mad. It probably will, but anyway, one more. Okay. So this one is one I heard, and I go back 28 years when I heard this, and it was used in this way. A presidential candidate was speaking at a convention. And this presidential candidate, yeah, that's what they say. Well, they say. This presidential candidate said to the audience, he said, as the scripture has said, eye has not seen and ear has not heard what we can do when we work together. And I remember being a much younger Joey back then thinking, I don't think that's what it says. And I looked it up, and it's not what it says. Now, the scripture did actually use the phrase, eye has not seen and ear has not heard. But what came after that was not out of the Bible. But the presidential candidate at the time didn't specify where he was saying was a Bible quote stopped and what he added started. Another reason why we need to be aware of what we're seeing. So let me read this here. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9, it says, but as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard. Okay, that part was right. Doesn't say the rest of it. Neither has entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for them that love him. By the way, that's a quote from the Old Testament. In the New Testament, it goes on to say, but God has revealed it unto us by his Spirit. So we live in a cool time here in the New Testament time. But let's go back to verse 9 for a moment. Eye has not seen nor ear heard what we can do when we work together is not a biblical quote. But people went with it that night. The news talked about it that night. I remember it. I just want to encourage you. Listen, know what's right. Take the word, break it down, know what's right. I want to encourage you that it's not money that's the root of all evil. I enjoy having something in my bank account, but I don't love the money. Can I say that again? I like that there's something in my bank account. I actually want there to be more in my bank account, but I'm not going to love the money. I'm going to be thankful and love the God who provides a way for me to get that money and be thankful to him. I want to tell you and encourage you that eye hath not seen and ear nor ear heard what we can do together. That's not right. The things that God has revealed unto us, he has revealed those things. I want to encourage you that though it doesn't say exactly God works in mysterious ways. Well, they say God works in mysterious ways. It does say his ways are mysterious, but what God does should not be a surprise to you. God loves you. He wants to do good things for you. He wants to heal your body. He wants to provide for you. He wants to make a way for you. Those are the things. And they're not mysterious. Talks about it in the Word. So I just wanted to share that with you tonight. I wanted to share that with you tonight just a little bit. Let me go back on a couple of the comments here really quickly. Jennifer, man, I'm wondering that too. I'm wondering if other conferences are going to follow the Ivy League, and I'm hoping not. And I'm becoming a little bit more concerned about the fall football season and fall sports season as a whole. I'm not ready to give up on it yet, but I'm becoming a little bit more concerned. So I'm still hoping. So Mandy Franks, thank you for joining tonight. Becca and Mike, glad you guys are online tonight too. Jason, I see your name up there. Yeah, you're going to miss that Yale versus Harvard game. I know you watch it every year. I know you tuned into that. They generally will get it on ESPN. I'm hoping that others don't follow. I'm more concerned. I'm concerned now. There was a Division II conference in California, Southeastern's Division II. In case you don't follow this, if you're not a sports fan, you don't follow this. Southeastern is NCAA Division II and belong to the Great American Conference, and I do a significant amount of work with the Great American Conference. There is a Division II conference in California that's already, and I mean, this was like a month ago, already shut down everything for the fall. Now, it's made up almost entirely of California schools, so there's that, but they've pretty much shut down. They shut it down a month ago. So it's already, there is precedent in Division II for folks around Southeastern. Janice, I agree with you. God wants to heal our land, and we need to humble ourselves and pray and seek his face. And that's what we need to do, no doubt. Jamie, did you see what Stanford did with some of their sports? Yes, I did see some of the sports. I don't know which ones yet. I saw the headline. I was in a hurry, didn't get to read the article, but I saw 11 of the sports that Stanford used to have as a part of the athletic program and sponsor. They are not going to be sponsoring. I don't know which sports. It's really sad. It's really sad. Of course, we talked last night about here on the program, Vanderbilt, another Division I school, got rid of its sports information department. So now, if you don't know what's going on with Vanderbilt, good luck. If you didn't go to the game, which fans won't be able to go to, most likely. So if you don't go to a Vanderbilt game, you didn't see what happened, good luck finding out what happened with Vanderbilt. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, Sean Rawlings, I don't know if you're watching tonight, but Sean used to live in Nashville, home of Vanderbilt. Hey, good luck to all the Nashville folks. Go watch the games, except you probably won't be able to because they got rid of their sports information people. I have a lot of respect for sports information people, so I'm really sad that went down. Okay. Anyway, that is what we're talking about tonight. I want to encourage you, look, get the information and, get it from a trusted source, but still check it out. Listen, look to see what's going on. It's one of the reasons that we in my household, we really enjoyed the press conferences being broadcast live so we could see what the president said, what the beer bug team said, so that we know all of it's there and it's not being filtered through somebody else to get to us. So there's that. But for those of you who watch the Bryan County Patriot, and a friend of mine was saying this week that, and I saw he posted, where do you get your news from? And there were a couple of major news sites and then the Bryan County Patriot. So thank you. That absolutely made my day. All right. I'm going to see if I can find this here. I'm looking for a specific message that was sent to me. So we'll see if this shows up. Trying to get it. Having to go back to the classic Facebook look here. Let me go ahead and take that down. Sometimes I forget I have the little slide up there and it gets in the way. So come on, classic Facebook look. You can give it to me. Oh, here we go. From the news, Tulsa sees COVID-19 surge in wake of Trump's June rally. Headline on Yahoo News. Mike sent me this. Was Trump also in McCurtain County? Oh, man. All right. Those numbers have gone up. Numbers in Bryan County have gone up as well. Well, thank you all. I appreciate that you can trust that. And I look, I'm not flawless, but I really do try. And if I make a mistake, and I have made a mistake before, and I said, look, I screwed up here. I made a mistake and fixed it. To my knowledge, the one mistake, I'm just teasing, but the one that was glaring to me, we did talk about. All right. Yeah. Numbers are up online. If you haven't seen that today, I did post on the Patriot today, and I'm trying not to do it every day, but I did today also because Bryan County has moved up to number 20 in the state of Oklahoma. So we're 20th out of 77 counties in number of positive cases. Now, here's what I would encourage you to do. And again, I hate doing this. I'm going to qualify this statement again. I don't want anyone to die as a result of the beer bug. I don't want anyone to die, even with comorbidities, as a result of the beer bug, okay? So I'm not in any way downplaying people who have passed and their deaths have been attributed to this, okay? Did I make myself very clear saying that? Good, I hope so. Here's what you need to watch for now, okay? People, and this was sent to me today as well. I need to find this. I don't know who. Sorry. Somebody sent this to me today. And if you sent it to me, Brian, you may have sent this to me. I think Brian sent this to me. But I was on this already, Brian, and I've been thinking about it all week long. So I'm glad you sent it to me because it reminded me I need to say it. They're not talking about the death count anymore. You don't hear this on the national news. You don't hear this from the national media. They're not talking about the death count anymore, even though there are people who are still passing. They're not talking about the death count anymore. And the reason for that is because the death count has declined. It has gone down dramatically. In the state of Oklahoma, it never rose. It's been a very flat line all the way through. Have people still passed? Yes, they have. Do we want that? No, we don't. That's not what we want for anybody. But they're not talking about that. The reason what they're talking about now is the number of cases. Now, before you blow up the comment section with this, I realize asymptomatic people and people with the beer bug in their 20s can pass this along to someone who has a comorbidity, who has a compromised immune system, who is of a certain age bracket. I get that. I understand that. And we don't want any of those things to happen, okay? May I say this again? We don't want any of those things to happen. However, because they can't talk about the death count anymore as a way to inspire fear, we have to talk about the rising number of cases as a way to inspire fear. And this also keeps people in power with the ability to make mandates on what we're doing. Now, is wearing a mask the end of all life? No, it's not. Okay? It's not. But there are people who want to be able to have say in your life. That's very simple. And honestly, they're two separate things. They really are. I don't mind wearing a mask. I don't mind wearing a face covering to respect people, and in certain businesses and places, I don't have a problem with that, to show respect and to honor people. Okay? But know that there are people who are doing what they can to stay and be able to have control. And it's just that simple. It is just that simple. Should this be politicized? Absolutely not. This should never have been a politicized issue. Shouldn't have been an issue anyway. But you just need to know. So you're going to hear now for an upcoming days until things change. What you're going to be hearing now is case numbers rise, case numbers rise, case numbers rise. You're also going to be hearing this, and this is going to be in headlines, and I saw one the other day. As beer bug case numbers rise, Trump did X, fill in the blank. Trump ate breakfast. Trump picked his nose. Trump licked a shopping cart handle. Trump did whatever. As cases rise, you're going to see this, you're going to hear this all the time. Okay? So, whoever you vote for, again, I'm not telling you one way or the other right now. I'm just telling you this is what you're going to see. And you've probably seen it already as case numbers continue to rise. By the way, if the case numbers in Bryan County go up by 1, I could say as case numbers rise in Bryan County and be telling you the truth. So, there you go. All right, where were we? Oh, yeah. Listen, don't just take those things, find out the source, and hopefully you get all the correct information from all that. bless God, it's been a fun Wednesday night. I hope that you've enjoyed the time. It has been really nice to get to see your names come up on my screen again. Jamie Miller, see your name come up there on the screen again. Oh, that is so cool. And Jamie Templeton, I think you're the best. I think that is just, I think you're cool. Terry, glad that you joined tonight as well. I think that, and I've gotten to all the names that showed up on my screen today, except two. Connie, if you're still watching, it was nice to see you tonight. See Donnie as well. Donnie knows how to fix your phone to subscribe to Midwest Sports Net. If you're still watching, Connie, check that out. All right, David, I'm glad to see your name come up there as well. All right, now I have, now I have gotten to everyone whose name showed up over there on that. All right, you guys are, you are really cool. Let me close with that. The thing you don't hear about is herd immunity. It is a real thing. We could talk about that a little bit later on, but it is a real thing, and it's something that we do need. We really do need to hear that, and we need to talk about that a little bit more. All right. Be wise. Be wise because you can. And you know how I know you can? Because God can give you wisdom. Remember this. Remember this. Age doesn't make you wise. See, that's another thing I've heard they say. Well, they say with age comes wisdom. No, with age generally comes experience. Age doesn't make you wise. Age makes you old. It does. But wisdom comes from God. And the word says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men liberally without finding fault. So there you go. And I think I combined two translations there. So check that one out and find that on your own. Be wise, use discretion, and do not walk in fear. Okay? Do we have to go out and lick the handles of shopping cart baskets? No, that's silly. Don't do it, Jack. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do that. You can have respect for a situation without walking in fear. Okay? You can be wise without walking in fear. You can. Do not walk in fear. I dare you. I dare you to go through the day tomorrow without walking in fear. I believe, according to the phone call that I had this afternoon, I have a guest tomorrow night. So we're going to look for that and enjoy that. Yes, we need some T-shirts with those closing words. We do. We absolutely do. Well, I think I know somebody who makes T-shirts. I actually like the Charting Waters T-shirt too. I need to wear that again very, very soon. All right. Everybody get that? Everybody in on everything tonight? You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. I cannot say enough good things about you, but I try to Mrs. Patriot every night after I get off the show and tell her just how cool I think you guys are. So God bless you. Thank you very much. Lots of good info tonight. Thank you, Teresa. And you're right, Jack. Don't lick the windows either. Dottie, I saw Jack twice today. He was wearing different clothes both times I saw him. He cleaned up from one time to the next. I don't know. I just think he's out there doing cool things. So if you see Jack in the neighborhood, be sure and let him know that you think he's a good guy, and don't let him lick windows either. All right. I've got to get off the air. You all are awesome. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for sewing into me, and thank you for letting me sew into you. I mean it, and I never, ever, ever take it for granted. All right? God bless you all. We'll do it again tomorrow night.